Welcome back. Air Arabia announced a net profit of 59 million dirhams for the first quarter of the year, registering an increase of 20% from Q1 2012. And Dana Gas reported a Q1 net profit of 241 million dirhams, an increase of 17% from Q1 last year. So before we take a look at the day's business news, let's first take a look at the stock indices across the GCC. And in our top business story, the Dubai Gold and Commodities Exchange trading volumes passed the $1 trillion mark in April since its launch in 2005, where the exchange has traded 24.5 million contracts in total. This comes off the back of substantial year-on-year volumes growth of 139% in April, where volumes for the month totaled over 1.3 million contracts, valued at $48.73 billion. Currency volumes in April saw a rise of 153% from last year, led by one of DGCX's flagship contracts, Indian Rupee Futures. With a year-on-year increase of 145%, Indian Rupee Futures registered a total monthly volume of 1,223,960 contracts. Euro Futures also saw a strong performance with a 325% increase from last year. Meanwhile, the exchanges recently launched Mini Indian Rupee Futures, which began trading on the 28th of March, traded 44,161 contracts in its first full month of trading, a first of its kind to be introduced into the region and outside of India. The Gulf's shipping industry has felt the effects of the global economic downturn, which has hindered the activities of ship owners, builders, and even innovators behind the design and production phases. However, shipping professionals revealed that the market will regain itself in the expected boom period in 2016. CEOs and engineers from some of the world's leading offshore and marine companies opened the Ship Tech event today and gave an insight into the global shipping industry. His Excellency Khamis Juma Bouamim, Dubai's chairman of the board of Dry Docks World and Maritime World, stated that the industry was expected to recover from the financial crisis after 3 to 4 years. However, it continued to decline, and the biggest challenge now is finance. Despite funding limitations, Gulf ship owners are optimistic about the future and are preparing for the potential growth. According to the chairman, he says it's time to tap into different sectors, such as oil and gas.
We already tapped into the oil and gas. Our strategy is all focused till 2030 on the oil and gas. And the growth is huge. We have Mammoth project ongoing in Dubai and also in Southeast Asia. The question is, it still remains, our clients would like to see financial fluidity coming to the market. And therefore, it's critical that the interface between the industry and the financial institution become more positive in order to really capture the growth. The market requires partnership now, and it requires growth potential in this area, and I think it's important. The biggest one is financing. The second one is the creativity, mindset change. There is a need for a mindset in the industry. The industry needs now to move from what it used to be to something different, totally different, innovative manner. It needs to create value, it needs to create long-term stability, and it's beyond sustainability. You know, it's not sustainability in itself. You need to go beyond sustainability, and that's where the industry is going to face problem. As to the potential growth is huge. The question will be, will we be able ready when the boom starts? And that is, as you heard today, I think 2016 is not far away, and that's where the boom will happen.
Organiser of the event, Mr. Sohan Roy, highlighted what measures should be put in place for the forecasted industry growth.
When the boom starts, naturally we need to, because now the rules and regulations in the shipping industry is changing. Actually, new generation ships we need to build. The old generation ships, actually, fuel consumption was more. So we need to go for the new generation ships. Also, the rule requirements are changed. So when you go for the new generation ships, what we need to prepare ourselves is that to have sufficient manpower with proper technical knowledge, actually. In China, what happens is when they went for the mass production to become the world #1 shipbuilding, the quality of construction was very bad. They just trained few people for few months and they just pushed them to the shipbuilding. It really affected their quality of construction, and the material what they used were quite weak. So that's why now many ships built in China, they are now going for major repairs because of the quality issues. But this should not happen with UAE, because UAE got a quality stamp, so it should, our shipbuilding industry should not spoil that name. So what we need to have, keep in mind that we need to have sufficient technical manpower with a lot of experience.
Eureka, the first global crowd investing platform for growth companies and small and medium businesses, launched in Dubai today with strong business leader support, who stated that the platform will act as a major contributor to economic growth. The launch saw funding proposals from a number of UAE and regional businesses, which is now live on its website. Eureka operates as a marketplace for both businesses looking for funding and crowd investors looking for new investment prospects. The platform offers growing businesses access to investment from the crowd for as little as $100 in exchange for equity. The crowd is typically made up of a business's followers and fans, clients, friends, and other members of the site. According to officials, Eureka provides an alternative solution that addresses the needs of entrepreneurs and SMEs for growth capital and has the potential to become a significant catalyst in developing the SME sector in the region and globally.
It is directed towards helping bridge the funding gap that SMEs face. If you look across the region, they don't have access to bank finance. Only 20% of SMEs have a bank account or a banking relationship. Only 8% of banking loans go to SMEs. Whereas they contribute more than 50% of GDP, they contribute more than 60 and 65% of employment. So you can see the big financing gap that they face. Our hope and ambition is that we help bridge that gap, that we help them in their funding and getting access to long-term patient capital, as I call it, and attract new investors. That means that they'll be able to expand, they'll be able to create jobs, they'll be able to go into new opportunities. That's the sort of thing we need across the Arab world, in the GCC, in the UAE. Our hope is that young entrepreneurs across the region will view crowd investing as a new tool, as an alternative way of financing that complements any other type of financing that they may have.
Registration is free and the company will perform strict compliance checks and due diligence before publishing funding proposals online. Businesses are provided a standard 90-day period to raise funds from investors on the website. And should the target not be met by the end of the period, any funds raised are then returned to investors.
We conduct due diligence both for companies that want to pitch as well as for investors. We need to make sure that they fulfill all the KYC, know your client. We conduct anti-money laundering, anti-terrorist finance type due diligence. We need to make sure that whatever pitches are being made are bona fide, are true pitches. And we need to protect both the companies as well as the investors. Now, beyond that, it is up to the company to make a pitch that is convincing to the crowd. We are there as a platform. We offer tools. We offer guides. There are other organizations and people who can provide mentoring and can provide expert advice, but we are a platform.
The tourism sector is among the fastest growing in the country, and its sustainability is essential. However, experts say they continue to see a high turnover of employees in hotels across the UAE. According to industry experts, this is one of the challenges that the majority of them have in common. Experts at the 6th Hospitality Business Networking event said it is crucial for hotels to look at improving staff retention, whether through training, incentives, pay rises or career development programs. They say taking care of an employee's welfare and knowing what they want and need ultimately leads to great business as well as return of investment. Hospitality.com says organising this annual event has proven effective for more than 150 decision makers, from general managers, human resource managers and financial controllers from various properties across the country, to learn from one another and keep abreast of the changes, challenges and advancements in hospitality and tourism.
Staff retention is a very important and career progression, the most important thing right now in the industry. When I joined business here in Dubai, there was no staff retention, there was no career progression late in '95. But right now, there's so much happening in every hotel, every company. There's so much happening right now. So obviously, we wanted people to talk about it, and we learn what new things are happening, new measures are taking place, what are people doing. So basically, these companies are talking about themselves.
The staff is the biggest asset we have in the company, really, because a lot of times we do get guest comments, and this I appreciate. This is something I really appreciate from the employees, when the guest is naming the employee by name. This happens often, and at the same time we are trying to do a few things in conjunction with the HR department to try to keep the staff busy and happy at the same time, especially during the slow periods when they feel that they have a tendency to drop a little bit the services and so on. So we do some activities, we do internally some competitions, games and so on. So we have to keep them busy, and we have to keep them happy at the same time, because I believe that if your staff are satisfied, they will revert back to the guest.